Hi, Sierra. How you doing? You all right?
Good, Adam. How are you?
Good. Yeah, good, good. So it's good to have you back on the podcast again.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
No, no, you're welcome. But yeah, we're just saying last time we spoke was like kind of like mid code, wasn't it? I think it was like a month or two into it,
It
like
was.
pretty
It was
early.
in the. It was in the depths, man.
Yeah. How have things been like kind of since then, since we last spoke? Like, 'cause I know like you're up and running again and putting
hmm
out some nice content and you got a new branch as well, haven't you? I think.
Yeah. So yeah, it was crazy. I think we probably touched on it on the last one, but we were right in the middle. We had signed for a new location like 2 weeks before COVID really hit our area.
Yeah.
Which caused a lot of stress and panic for me. Like we had signed on the dotted line. I even called my business partner Ethan at one point and I was like, dude, I think we maybe should back out of this. He's like,
Yeah.
we signed. I'm like, I know, but like I don't know what's gonna happen. So that was intense. I think we talked about that. We lost, it was hard, man. We lost all of the revenue that was going to put open that new store because of COVID, because our arena money, which is from the NBA. We have a location inside our local arena where the Utah Jazz play.
Nice.
That went away. And then our catering all went away. And both of those revenue streams were funding the new place. And so it got really scary for a minute. But fortunately, we were able to figure it out and get that open. And it's been open for almost 3 months now.
Mm.
And it's just been, I feel super lucky. Ethan worked his butt off. He's my business partner. He
Mm.
just like grinded and made it happen and got it open, and it's been such a blessing. It's been so busy. It's been
Yeah.
insanely busy. We had to redo the parking lot kind of lines twice to fit the cars.
Wow.
The city came out, they were like, you have to get these cars off the main street. We're like, okay. They were really nice though, but so we redid that twice and finally figured out now it's really flowing well, and our original store is doing super well. And like fortunately, so I own a bakery too, and super fortunate I didn't have to close ever. Like the team was able to stay healthy. I was able to figure out how to keep it open. It was very, very difficult and like mega stressful. And I never
Mm.
want to experience it again. But
Yeah.
so I just feel lucky, man. And a lot of stories aren't like that. So I feel just blessed.
Yeah. No, that's it. Because I saw like your Instagram post. Like, I mean, it was different in the UK to obviously America. Like, some states were like still locked down. Yours was open, and
Yeah.
you've got that drive-through, haven't you? Like, for people who
Yes.
haven't tuned into our first podcast that we did, you basically own like different restaurants, and they're called First, and you like make nice cakes and lots of different like food, and you've got like a
hmm
takeaway thing, like a drive-through thing. Luckily enough, haven't you, in one of yours?
Yeah.
Because I saw, was that the only kind of point of call of where you could kind of sell to people?
Well, all the locations had a dine-in as well, pre-COVID, but we shut those down.
Mm.
Um, it was the best thing to do. It was what we needed to do, and it was like what we were told to do as well. So we shut all those down. So drive-through kept us alive, and I just feel super lucky that's our business model. And that's the majority of our business anyway. But like Adam, like people were people were coming through and like emotional that we were still open. Like this sense of like normalcy was
Yeah.
so important to them. Like they were like, thank you so much for being open. And there was one day when I had to close. I don't remember why. I think I just needed like a mental break. And I'm like, we're just going to take, and so did the team. We're just going to take like a Monday. And this family had ridden their bikes and I came to get a coffee and I'm like, oh guys, I'm so sorry we're not open. And the little kid was like, Mom, I don't want to go back home yet. Like, cause they'd been quarantined and they rode their bikes up
Oh
to like get
wow.
out and to go get something. And I was like, I'm never closing again. Like
Yeah.
it broke my heart. I was like, here's a gift card. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, so the drive-through kept us alive in all the locations. And luckily, so our dine-ins at Thirst, at Mill Creek is open. social distancing, masks required. 1300 we're remodeling, and we had to take a whole bunch of kitchen space. So, and then Dottie's my bakery. I just kept it closed. I had to use that space for wholesale. So it is I'm actually sitting in the parking lot right now because there's internet here. So, our dine-in is just all production now. So it's not going to be opened again. Just drive-through.
Wow. Yeah, no, I think it's amazing how you've kind of improvised in that kind of like time, you know, in this whole situation. Because I know a lot of places, you know, couldn't really do that. You know, they didn't have, you know, they had financial issues, and, you know, it's good that you've been able to, like, you know, stay open.
Mm-hmm. It was, I think, I mean, it seriously is a miracle. Like, I feel super, super lucky. And yeah, we worked really, really hard, but we got a lot of support from the community. And I feel like where we needed to pivot, we pivoted really well, but we were really set up for it super well. Thirst, we had launched our app 2 or 3 weeks before COVID hit our area. So that allowed us almost a third point of sale, because they could use the app to pre-order, and when they got here, it would give them a time, like 15 minutes. They could pull up curbside and pick it up. So we launched that like 3 weeks before. That was Ethan's baby. He worked so hard to get that done, and it looks so good. It was a really cool moment to like download it on my phone. But so we launched that 3 weeks before, and then this hits, and curbside like blows up. Like like the entire block was like curbside plus drive-through was rolling. And I just think, had we not have had that, it would have been a lot more difficult. And a lot of these restaurants, that the ones that are still open are the ones that pivoted really well, like that opened up curbside, that figured out online ordering super fast. And just feel bad for the ones who didn't know how or just couldn't do it fast enough. It's so hard.
It's just like you said, that kind of crazy, kind of perfect timing of getting that done just before that happening, isn't it? It's just almost like fate.
And I think it's just like having that attitude of being on the offense a lot. Like that's been our strategy with Thirst and Dottie's this whole time. Ethan just works 100,000 times faster than me, so that's why it got done. But just being on the offense and forward thinking, like, how can I improve the customer experience? And that was definitely one of those things, is improving the wait time. And it just like was a natural trickle effect. And I just feel super grateful that it happened. But it does make me think now, like, it's definitely going to be part of my strategy, no matter what business, is just like, how can I be offense? How can I mitigate the risk and look at potential threats that aren't there right now, but could be? Like, what is the one thing that could take me out completely? And then build up barriers against that. I think that's like one of the big takeaways I've gotten, I think, from all this.
Yeah. No, I think it's amazing what you've done. And, you know, I really like your content, what you put out there. And I like that, you know, you're really passionate about what you're doing, and you know, you love what you're doing. And, you know, the pictures you put up on the videos of, like, you know, the things you make just look like amazing. And
thank you.
I'm over here. You're welcome. I'm over here in the UK, and like, I just want to fly over there and just to have like one of those cakes or something like that.
Come on, man. I hope they open travel soon. I'm missing traveling, and I'm missing concerts so bad. Like, it's ridiculous. I can't wait. But that's one thing that really helped kind of take our social media to the next level, is when I really started focusing on getting good quality pictures. And like, something is better than nothing, but people eat with their eyes first, and we're a bakery. So my marketer, Sarah, for Dottie's, has really, really helped us with stepping up our Instagram grid for Dottie's. And then Rachel is our Thirst marketer. She is just a machine. It's been really fun to watch her learn and grow, and just absolutely destroy the content schedule on Thirst, because it's aggressive. Like, we post more than once a day and try to have as many stories as we can. And so it's kind of, I don't know, I think it's unusual for a lot of food places, but some of them might do pretty similarly.
Yeah, it's important to do that, isn't it? Because you then have the attention of other people. Sorry, my brother on a scooter. you get, it's getting the attention of the people, isn't it? And you're constantly making things, and it's content, isn't it? People want to see content
Yeah.
and new content and things like that.
Yeah. I have a question for you. What have you found in like the last 6 months to really help like your reach with what you're trying to do with the podcast and just your positive messages you send out? What's been a thing that you've kind of like noticed is working and kept doing or experimented with?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I would say being consistent with what I'm doing, and seeing the positive impact that it has, and the
Mm-hmm.
feedback, some of the feedback I've had through people, through listening to it, and some of the people who've been on it have then reconnected with people through it.
Oh,
So
cool. That's cool.
I had a few people who've been on it. They've created their own podcast,
Oh,
and
nice.
then one of their friends they lost touch with listened to their podcast and
Oh,
got back
wow.
in touch with them after so many years, or
Oh my gosh.
listened to mine and saw this person who I did a podcast with on it.
Yeah,
And yeah, just little bits of magic like that, really,
that's cool.
and seeing people then create their own, it's quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just that's some of the things that kind of drive me forward, because it can be quite difficult to do podcasts, to get started.
Yeah,
But like the more you do it, the better I feel like I've got.
yeah,
And
totally.
I think the connections I've made, as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've kind of like found a lot of close friends through podcasting, like especially
Yeah,
like yourself. And
yeah,
I'm very kind of touched, and very grateful for all
yeah,
of that.
yeah. I saw your IGTV you did the other day. That's so cool. I think it's important and it makes it, I just love that you stay in touch with that gratitude because I think a lot of people, I just think people are more miserable when they don't have it. And
Mm,
it's fun to connect with people like you who keep it positive and keep talking about gratitude because really, if you don't have your mindset in the right place and
mm.
nothing else matters, everything else will go downhill. So
Yeah,
that's fun, man. That's really cool. I love to hear that you're helping people connect as well. That's amazing.
yeah. No, I really appreciate that, and it means a lot. And I think, yeah, I mean, when I did it, I didn't really expect much of it in some way. I just was
Yeah,
like, I've got an idea. That I had the idea for about a couple of years, and I didn't do it because I was like
yeah,
scared and worried about what people might think. So
yeah,
maybe my dog. Oh, okay. And yeah, so it it was it's quite moving when you see it start to have like an impact in some way.
hmm, yeah,
But it kind of gets to the point where I've got people kind of reaching out to me, to be honest, after some time.
cool. Oh, I love that. That's
But
awesome.
but yeah, I mean, I've learned to be patient throughout it because I mean, I like to hit the ground running and be good at what I do. Whereas this, it's a process. So I've
Yeah,
learned a lot,
good. That's awesome. Well, that's a really good use of the time right now too. I think a lot of people have done nothing and you've put out like, I don't even know how many. I should have looked at the number of
It's
podcasts that
fun.
I was versus the number you are now, but like you put out
Um,
so many podcasts. I'm so impressed. I love it.
yeah.
It's so good.
No, thank you. I did
So
80, around 70 or 80 during lockdown. So I was doing about 4 or 5 a day, three
good.
to four.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah,
That's heaps.
because I was unemployed. So I mean, I was like booking them out 3 to 4 a day,
Yeah.
sometimes five, based on time zones really. So I start in the
Mhm.
morning, pace it up a
Yeah.
few, have lunch, and keep on going.
Yeah.
And um, yeah, I do them frequently now, but I don't do as many, like 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I can check what our number was. Let me just. It might go off the camera a second. I can check what
All right. That's
we
amazing.
was. I think I'm gonna go back. It was around March, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We was number 27,
Really? And what are you on now?
and I've published episode 115 last night, and I've got about 12 more, about 10 more to publish. So I've nearly done 130.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Holy crap. That's amazing.
Yes.
I have told the story 100 times, but I knew when we were talking about starting Thirst that we should record all of our conversations, Ethan and I, because
Oh
that to
yeah.
me is like, those are my favorite type of podcasts. Like I used to listen to Startup when it first came out, when they would follow around like these new businesses. And I just knew, and I didn't do it. And so I have a little bit of regret, which is like my worst feeling, but it's not to say I couldn't still start it. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to structure one.
Mm.
So I'm trying to go on a whole bunch of them to get practice and to like
Yeah,
meet
yeah.
people and practice with like good questions. And then I'm going to figure out how I want to structure mine. And I just need to start, but
Yeah.
27 to 115. I am inspired. I'm so inspired. Good job.
No, thank you. No, I appreciate it. But I mean, like I think, like you said you didn't do it back then, but you could do it, and you could recap and kind of go back on those conversations that you had, if that makes sense. Like you could kind
Yeah.
of say,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about 2000 and I don't know, 2000 and whenever,
Mm-hmm.
July,
Yeah.
and then go into do like, almost like a storage. I mean, like a storyboard, and then how, do you know what I mean? How you kind of
Yeah.
piece it together to where
Yeah.
you are. You could definitely do that.
I have all the notes too. So I use Evernote, and I have all the notes from like deciding our name and how we wanted to foundationally build the company culture. So I've been wanting to like get an iPad or something like that and show the note and then kind of walk through, because that's kind of cool documentation, because I have like a list of like 40 potential names before we decided on the one we
Oh
wanted.
wow.
And then I have all the design
Like the marketing
like all the
side of it.
design markups of like potential logos too, because I did a contest on 99 designs for our logo. So I want to walk through that sometime. I just need to do it. So there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of content there. I get held up on like how to put it out quick enough. I don't like the details, so I like to like have someone edit it.
Hmm.
I mean, I like the details, but I don't like doing it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, it's a lot of excuses basically that I just need to like stop being a baby about. So I'm working on that. I am working
Yeah.
on it.
No, we've all got that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like I can be like that sometimes. I'm like, I need to do this, need to do that,
Yeah.
and then you can get distracted and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
but no, I think you should definitely do it. And if you find that bit of time, it's just selecting that bit of time, isn't it? I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I'm gonna make it work because it's
yeah,
important, and I keep thinking about it, and I know I need to like put out 400 times the content for what my goal is to achieve. And luckily, I have a guy we just hired as kind of our marketing intern here, and he is super into Gary Vee as well. So he gets it, and I'm very excited because he fires me up and he's like gonna help me with some of the personal
yeah,
side
yeah.
of it, putting out content. So I'm
That's
hyped
great.
to have him on the team, and like I think that's going to help a lot. I just have to get organized now. But what
Yeah.
are some things that so you start a new job, you're podcasting, what are some other things that you're working on? I think last time we talked you were doing some courses or hoping to have some courses or working on some courses online.
Yeah, I'm doing a course. I'm still doing that course in NLP.
Okay.
So that's like neurolinguistic programming. So that's like the thinking and behavior of people
Yeah.
and the beliefs and like the deeper side to it.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that still. I kind of focused more so on the podcast and kind of did that
Yeah.
when I could. So that's something I'm going to do, alongside my coaching, and my life coaching. I'm in the process of just building my website. I might pay somebody to do it for me, so
Yep.
then it's all kind of in one complete package.
Right.
So that's something I'm doing on the side, and I've got a few things in the pipeline where kind of want to like run courses or workshops. That's something I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna do at some point. like through coaching. Do you know what I mean? Things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you gonna try to do a lot of that online, or prep for it to be available online, or like record live ones to put online?
Yeah. I do like live ones. That's kind of what I'm thinking of doing with
Mm-hmm.
somebody else, and then do like. I mean, it's early stages yet, but
Yeah.
that's something I'm going to work towards and just see where it
Good.
goes. You know.
Good. Yeah. Awesome. Love that.
But I think it's good, like you said, how and it's important to have that tribe of people around you. Do you know what I mean? People are going to support you, and to be with
Yep.
like-minded people, especially in
Yeah.
like your workplace, who kind of
Oh my
support you and see
gosh.
your vision.
It's huge, man. It's huge. It's such a lonely road.
Mm,
Entrepreneurship and like doing that kind of stuff. Like, like you said, before people start, a lot of people are nervous and scared and are worried about what other people think. And so if those are the people that you're surrounding yourself by, you're not around like-minded individuals. And sometimes it happens for so long, it just is so lonely. But that's one thing, a huge blessing that's come out of this too, is like I didn't realize how much of an extrovert I was until quarantine, because I've always tested and like identified with an introvert. I just have to have extrovert tendencies with my job and like with my work that I do
yeah.
to like be in front of people and on the gram and stuff. But quarantine hit and I'm like, I need to talk to people. So I set up a whole bunch of lives, which is how we started our
Mm,
friendship. And like having those people that you can message and just be like, hey, tell me if this is a stupid idea or not. Or like, hey, let me tell you about what just happened with a team member, and they understand, is so important. And
mm,
those people you can call and be like, hey, I am in a trash place with my mindset. Help me, help me get back, help dial it back. Because like, again, I just think that's everything, and it affects your entire life. And so to have those people you can rely on to be like, hey, help me
mm.
get back to a level headed and positive place is so important.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely keeps your head above the water, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's definitely key, and I think yeah, like especially when you're an extrovert as well, you kind of your energy is kind of like I'm an extrovert as well. You're energized by being around people, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you kind of need that kind of social contact to some
Mm-hmm.
extent, and
Yeah.
like with your business as well. Like if you have an idea, you kind of it's probably it's good to see someone else's perspective as well, who you're on the same kind of vibe with.
Yeah. 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 Those are the people that I call, like, I'm really diving into this kind of piggyback thirsty brand off of our thirst
Mm,
business.
mm,
And those are the people I called first. I had to be like, you got to tell me if this is real, if it's like a good idea, or if it sucks. And I need you to be real with me. So those are the ones I call first because, they're business minded. They know how to they've actually done it, and they can help me look at both sides of the coin. I think it's just super valuable, and I love it.
yeah, no, that's it.
And those are the types of people, like I can talk to those types of people and get so hyped up and get so energized that it gives me just so much power to go through like the next few days and just bust stuff out. Like
Mm,
mega energy for sure. I love it.
yeah, no, I agree. I think it's definitely important, and I think like as well, like when you was at school, did like what you do now? Did you know what you wanted to do when you was at school? Like, did you see yourself doing what you're doing now? If that makes sense. When you was at school.
I started off as a music major.
Yeah.
And I did 1 or 2 years of that. And then I was like, I actually hate this right now. Like I love playing guitar at home, and that gave me joy. But like I was studying like classical music and playing woodwind instruments, which I loved, but it wasn't going to be like the thing. So I switched. So I switched to business. So I knew entrepreneurship and business like intrigued me, and I knew I always wanted to own my business, but I never, ever, ever dreamed of owning a bakery.
Yeah.
Just owning a business. So that was a fun thing to kind of stumble upon, and I've loved it. And I think it's helped a lot because when you come in, if you are a pie maker, like this is like the E-Myth Revisited analogy. Like if you're a pie maker, you love making pies so much and people keep telling you to sell them and then you sell them, you're still just really good at making pies. It does not make you good at owning a business and making a profitable business, making a successful business. So I think it's helped not being so entrenched in like baker life for the business, but I've definitely had to go find some baker senseis to help teach me and actually help me know what I'm doing. And I'm so grateful for them. They have changed the dynamic of my business significantly. So I think that's been like a really interesting and good combination for me personally, but I just knew I wanted to own a business. That's what I kind of thought. What about you?
Me, I think that's amazing. You know, what you've just said. And for me, I went on a bit of a path when I left college. When I was at school, I wanted to be an actor. So I did plays in secondary school. I had like a main part, so I was like singing and dancing. Wanted to be an actor. Then I went to college, and then I wanted to be a policeman. And then I went from wanted to be a policeman to be in the military. So then I was joining the British Army, and then I pulled out in selection, and then went back into restaurant work, did close shops, and then I what did I do after that? Then I went and did a course in university because I was like, oh, I want to do criminology, like the psychology of criminals. Went to university, wasn't for me, came out, fell back into restaurant work, and then I got into life coaching, and then I qualified last year, so that's kind of what I kind of like want to go into, like life coaching, work for myself, do courses, and then I started podcasting as well. But you kind of got to go on a bit of a journey sometimes, haven't you? You got to try things out to know what it is that you want to do.
You have to. I love that you did that too. I have my last two sisters are much younger than me. They're 14 and 13 years younger than me. And so one is finishing up her final year in college. And I love her so much. She's so stressed out that she doesn't know what she wants to do. And I am trying to impart my sisterly wisdom upon her and tell her, I'm so smart. Listen to me. You just need to go try things. And I hope that she eventually listens. But I love that you did it, because if you don't try it and taste it, like, you just don't know. And I think it's so much, you add so much stress to yourself trying to think you have to have it figured out, when that's a 40, 50, 60-year-old way of thinking. And that was the world that they lived in. And that is not the world that we live in now. Like, you can literally go learn every single thing you need to know to do whatever you want on YouTube, or create a YouTube channel that is your business. So I just love that you tried a whole bunch of stuff. I did that too, man. I worked at like an electronics store, and then I helped a buddy with his carpet cleaning business, in which I learned about marketing and also how to clean carpets. And I did a whole bunch of stuff in between. I screen printed shirts. So I know how to screen print shirts. But I think it is a journey, and I don't know, it's like the funnest part, and you have so much more time. That's one thing I wish I would have realized early, is I felt so much internal pressure to like figure it out and have X amount of money a month by the time I was whatever. So much stress and pressure. So I'm glad that you're trying it out and just tasting it and experiencing it, because I don't know, it's more fulfilling, I think.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, and it really means a lot. And I think, like what you said, is that it gives you that perspective. It gives you that perspective, and you've got those experiences behind you, even though it didn't work out for you. And you can kind of, when I speak to some people who are like 16, 17, and they kind of were in the same boat that I was once, and I can see that, because they don't know what they want to do. They're thinking of doing X, Y, Z. And I'm like, you've got time. You don't need to have it all figured out,
Right.
I think that's kind of thrown on people.
Yeah. And I'm surprised too, man. Like, I know, like, a lot of this is Gary Vee stuff that we're just spitting out again, but
yeah.
which is fine. I think it's so true, but I'm shocked. I have younger kids working at my shops, and I'm just blown away that parents are still like super pressuring their kids to go get certain type of career in the world that we live in. That's a real thing. Fortunately, my parents never did that. I feel so lucky that they never did that. And it just like every single time I hear it, I'm like, wait, really? Like, yeah, I want to do this, but my dad really wants me to do this, and he's paying for my college, so I'm going to go do this. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
but it's your life. It's your life and your
Yeah.
happiness. Like, oh, I don't know.
Some people have to go through that full loop cycle and then come out the other end and be like,
Yes.
oh, okay, it makes sense now.
Yep. It's true. Got to have your own journey. No one could have told me when I was that age anything either. So I'm just kind of like, all right, well.
Yeah, no, exactly. I know you've got to shoot soon, haven't you? But
no worries.
What advice would you give to people who kind of like, you know, want to kind of build a business or try something, you know, like what if you could say anything? Not to put you on the spot or anything, but like any advice?
Oh, I got you. I'm just trying to think about what I would say. I think try a lot of stuff. That's kind of the theme, right? Try a lot of things. And if you have something that you want to do and you keep thinking about it, like just do it. Like it doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter what people say. And I think that the sooner you can get past that, which is hard, and you still have to recalibrate. I have to recalibrate. I said something on a podcast I was on the other day, and I was like, oh man, that sounded like it doesn't bug me, or it sounded like a little bit arrogant. Like, I can't believe people get scared. But when I thought about it on a micro level, like releasing this new brand or like maybe changing up the way I do business, like I've been actually scared in the last 3 weeks of what people think. So it's easier said than done. But the sooner you can get over that and just think about what you want, the better. And people who are miserable are always going to try to get other people to be miserable. So they might talk crap, but try not to even hear them. And I think if you're going to dive into any business right now or start one, I would really look at online. Definitely look at online as opposed to brick and mortar for the reasons that we've learned in the last, 10 months. And go hard on your socials, like go hard on your content, like anything. I don't care if you have like an iPhone that's like, I don't know, 12 years old, like use that and just put out content and try to really be real and authentic with your audience, because that's what they want to see, that face behind the business for the most part. So hopefully that was okay. I don't know. That's what's on my mind today.
No, it's ideal. Like it really resonates with me, and I think it's really nice what you said, and I think it's true. And I think people kind of overthink things sometimes. It's like you said, just get a phone and just put it out there and do it. And I've seen people with podcasting who are like, what equipment should I get? Should I get what's the best microphone to use? Where should I do it? And this and that. And I kind of had a few video calls with people and told them what I did. I said, I do it on my phone in my car using just a wired headset, and then I edit it where I can on a phone app. You don't need a lavish microphone. When you feel like the time's right, then do it. But you don't. I think people can overthink things so much, like they need all this fancy equipment straight away.
I think I don't know what I was listening to the other day, but it's like a defense mechanism to procrastinate to start, because I think it's a fear of failure thing. So it's like the longer you put it off and make excuses, the longer you're going to see if you have what it takes to get it done. And that can be a tough pill to swallow, because you may or may not, but like dive in and do it, and you'll learn a lot. Even if you don't succeed or quote unquote fail, which I think the only time you fail is when you stop and you don't learn anything from it.
Mm.
Because you could, you could have 3-4 businesses that don't do anything, but I guarantee you learn something from it.
Mm.
And so use that for the next one.
Yeah. Sometimes those failures make you better and stronger, don't they, I suppose, as well. You
Oh
kind
my
of
gosh,
learn things.
for sure. Refiner's fire, right?
Mm.
If you're focused on it and keep it positive and look for the good, like you'll come out better on the other end.
Yeah,
And if
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't, then you're just going to stagnate and won't do anything,
Mm.
which no one wants that.
No,
I would
no,
hope. I
so,
would hope no one wants that.
yeah. Yeah. So, like, where can we find you on social media again? Like on Instagram and things?
Yeah, so at Sierra.Mccleve, it's MCCLEVE, and Sierra is SIERRA.
Mm.
Our businesses are at Thirst Drinks and at Dottie's Kolaches. And yeah, I'd love to have anyone come say hi. I'm just releasing some new merch, and maybe we could do like a giveaway or something like that where we partner up and give away some thirsty merch on the
Yeah, yeah,
Parrsitivity
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, yeah, no, of course. I'll definitely promote it and definitely put it out there for you. Yeah, be
Hey
nice.
man, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to give away
Yeah,
some shirts and hats.
yeah, 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 of course.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me
but
on.
no,
It's
no,
been
you're
good to chat
welcome.
with you.
Yeah, it's been good to talk with you again. It's been very nice.
Let's do it again soon. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
yeah,
an Instagram live, and I hope you'll join me on my Instagram live, and
yeah,
I'll
yeah, of
interview
course.
you.
Yeah, 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 sure. Be nice.
The tables will turn, my
Yeah, yeah. But no, have a great day, and it's lovely catching up with
Thanks,
you.
you too. Okay, we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, talk soon.
Okay, see ya.
See ya. Bye, bye, bye.